mind to tell the little fuck who killed his fucking family. I'd sure like to see the look in his face when he found out that fucking Facebook who killed his fucking family.
It's a psycho thriller based on a disturbed young child.
More than anything, it's a story about control, people trying to reestablish control.
You've got these three different narratives that all have no past, present, or future.
Blank is a story about a kid whose parents were killed when he was 7 years old, and it's very traumatizing for him, but he does see who it is, but draws a blank in his head and forgets pretty much about it. He's adopted by a guy who is a mob boss. Now the story fast forwards 20 years later, and he overhears over a conversation who it is that killed his parents, and it's a shock to him.
I got a good mind to tell the little fuck who killed his fucking family.
We can't do that to the kid.
Why not? And it's kind of a 20-hour period where he goes through the day trying to kind of seek vengeance on every single person who knew about it.
He then sets a situation in motion that allows for manipulation of my character to start killing people.
Mr. Giovanni, his adopted father, has set him up in a way and misled him as to the truth about where his father went.
So over the next 20 hours, he has to pick up his adopted father from prison.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my son. How have you been?
Here's your ride.
The mob boss's wife, who's carrying on an affair.
I can't believe he's getting out tomorrow.
And he devises a plan to take care of the people that are responsible for his parents' death.
Hey, dude. So what are we up to?
Kind of making it up as I go.
At one level, it is a story of manipulation. It's also a story of control, where when Mr. Giovanni gets out of prison, he's told that the number 2 guy has been stealing from him, and so the crime family's out of control, and that the ultimate level of being out of control is his wife is having an affair with someone else that works for him.
You know Michael Reed?
Sure I know Michael. He does our laundry.
He's been skimming off Katie. I mean, if you know what I mean.
It's richly layered and textured, multiple storylines, sort of a reckoning of Johnny, the protagonist, trying to reconcile some hurt and resentment and confusion.
In recent years, a number of filmmakers have opted to narrate their story or to tell their story by taking multiple characters or different plot lines and intertwining them and coming to a point where they intersect. In Blank, Rick took the story of the mafia and he took the story of the, I don't want to call them potheads, what is the correct term? The
Potheads.
Youth involved in alternative activities, and the story of these 2 serial killers, and brought them all together at one point.
He's just this pot-smoking, arrogant little punk. Doesn't really have a point or direction in life at all. The movie kind of starts where he starts to actually have a reason in life, you know. It's like he's actually doing something with his life, which is finally figuring out who killed his family when he was a kid.
Hey, Robert. Remember when you said you'd help me when I found out who killed my family?
Sure, yeah.
Here, man.
Not fucking kidding.
Seriously.
I need you to do this for me.
Johnny, Robert, and Mike are pretty good friends. Stoners, do a lot of drugs. Johnny does pretty much less than anyone else.
I was like, yeah, I could call him up during some time.
Mike is pretty much the ultimate stoner of the movie.
I'm probably gonna go over to Toby's, smoke.
Well, you tell that son of a bitch that he owes me a joint.
Will do, man. Later.
They're just really, really good friends. Robert and Johnny, of course, are the tightest.
Hey, Johnny, check it out. It's Toby and Mike.
They all have a friend, Toby, but the only one that really hangs out with him that much is Mike.
Wanna smoke bowl, dude?
Because Toby is a coke dealer as well, so they tend not to go into that area. They're more or less potheads.
I want to know, dudes. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to call you dude.
Mr. Giovanni and Johnny, their relationship is kind of weird. I think in the movie, Mr. Giovanni is getting out of prison after like a 3-year sentence. Mr. Giovanni actually seems to be semi-caring about his son, while Johnny he doesn't seem to care about anybody.
You did the right thing, my son.
He doesn't even really seem to care about himself at all.
He's charismatic. He's the CEO of an organization. He's a philosopher. Spent a lot of time reading the Bible in prison, trying to understand its words, understand its meaning.
The connection with Mr. Giovanni in the Bible is a common thing. When people go to prison, they're bored, they look for things, and so he decided he wanted to read religious books. And one passage that we go over in the film is, "Cursed shall you be when you go in, and cursed shall you be when you come out." It's just basically stating that he was cursed when he went in prison, and now that he's out of prison, he's still cursed. He's cursed with who he is and what he does.
It doesn't seem like Mrs. Giovanni or Johnny really actually have a relationship at all. They just seem to be like two strangers in the same house. They didn't seem to talk to each other like they liked each other at all, or wanted anything to do with each other.
Her greatest source of exacting any sort of control in her life is through her sexuality, and yet it's the very thing that limits her because she is a woman. Her greatest strength is also her greatest deficit.
The one thing Mr. Giovanni hates is drug running. He was very, very offended by the guy he left in charge running the business, working with another crew from another part of town.
Tommy. He's been transporting drugs for the Van Dyke crew.
With my fucking trucks?
Yeah.
So I'm JP Giuliotti, I play Tommy 9, and I'm one of the 3 guys on the card game in the opening scene. They call me Tommy 9 because I killed 9 people with 6 bullets twice.
And geez, I've been working there for all of you. I'm Clint Tibbetts, I play Savitano. I just came into the Giovanni family about 7 years ago. So I'll slowly work my way up through to be a bodyguard for Mr. Giovanni. And
tape or something stuck out of Joe Castellini. I've had the pleasure of playing Antonio in this movie, and Antonio is a longtime associate of Mr. Giovanni and has a somewhat sensitive relationship with Savitano and Tommy.
Call. Quad pens. There's no fucking way.
Straight flush.
And then you have Ahmed, which is the owner of a motel, which Johnny grew up with.
Hello again.
I've been meaning to ask, what are these bars here for when you always got the back door open?
The story behind that is Ahmed's father worked for Mr. Giovanni, and upon his mysterious death, Ahmed got the motel. Ahmed hates his life, has trouble with girlfriends, so there's that question of, does he really like girls or does he like guys?
Johnny, see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
And I'll see you later.
What is that supposed to mean?
Just being friendly.
And that's for the audience to make up their own mind, and hopefully I put enough into it so their mind will be made up correctly. He just starts getting stoned all the time.
What's up, man? I was taking a nap.
So he's looking forward just to selling the motel and taking off and having nothing to do with it. We were filming out at the North Bend, and we were going to film my scene on a Friday night because I had been growing a beard, which was itching the crap out of me. And we had an actress lined up to come and play the role. Came that evening, she didn't show up. So then I thought, what am I going to do? And Ricardo stepped up. I'll do it. I got to do what's got to be done. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll do it. I said, okay, Ricardo's doing it. So then it twisted from a topless prostitute to a transvestite. And I'm not sure he was prepared for how crazy and psycho I was going to be in the role.
Fuck you! Fuck!
When I started out the scene, I would just, you could hear my hands just smack on his neck when I would grab him. And I was really, really intense and thought I was freaking him out a little bit. But he said, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And he made a very good transvestite, by the way. Scene 76 was originally about yay big. There was a bunch of flashbacks on things that had happened at the motel when Jill's trying to pick which room she wants to take over. And I listened to this radio show on a daily basis, and it's called The Men's Room, and I thought, it would be really cool to have them in those scenes, you know, in that little short paragraph, which turned into 7 pages.
Are you trying to fuck me on this deal?
And so, yeah, I was like, these guys would be great at these roles. And the Ted Smith hates horror movies. So I put him into a scene to where he is with a girl that is cut up on purpose.
So we cut her fucking mouth out of her pretty fucking head.
It wasn't for the publicity as much. It was more that I think these guys are really cool. It'd be nice to have them, you know, in the movie.
Hands where I can see him, clerk boy. Take it snappy, let's go. You take what you want.
Oh yeah, no shit. I got a gun, man.
Kinda obvious we're gonna take what we want. Ain't that right, sweetness?
Well, it just seems that way to me. Obviously, they're sick and twisted. There's all of that. But when Jason became Jack, these two characters suddenly became very playful, rather spontaneous.
You hear that? I think they got skunk apes out here.
Cut. What the fuck is a skunk ape?
They're quirky, incredibly quirky.
You know, people really get knocked out of their shoes. That's just not something they say. People really get knocked out of their shoes. Have you seen that?
I've seen that.
Obviously, they're sick and twisted, but it's almost as though Jill doesn't even see that side of it. They really are playing games.
Jack and Jill have been a project of mine for quite some time. They're actually the second script I ever wrote, and they're actually a trilogy in their own right, and I have 3 scripts for them. And when I was writing the script, I thought I need some psycho people in it, so that's when I decided, hey, this is a good time to introduce Jack and Jill to the public.
I'm Jason Atkins, play Jack. I'm a killer. I kill people, things, horses.
So I started writing them into the script, and they became more and more and more involved because they're my favorite characters.
Cows.
Insanity ensued.
Ants. I don't stop. It doesn't stop.
So it was Johnny's insanity mixed with their insanity.
Jelly beans.
That make the movie complete.
I like killing jelly beans. Root beer jelly beans, that's my favorite one.
They're now a major part of the movie. I expected them to be about 10% of the movie. Now they're about 50% of the movie.
So, if you're a jelly bean, look out. Kill you.
Jack did a lot of research. I had Jill doing research on serial killers. Had them going out and sitting in a car and making up and planning what they would do to people to put them in that state of mind. The whole point of Jack and Jill is they need to be likable, because when I shoot the first movie, people will understand the things that they went through as a child that put them in this state.
Are you ready to dance with the devil? Huh? 'Cause he's ready to dance.
We are raised in the rules of the common land, but they were raised by parents in a different environment, which shifted them and made them the way they are for a reason.
Hello there.
Frequently, the decisions she makes are to entertain Jack if she can. They try to make each other laugh through quite a bit of the film.
Everything in my teeth. I ate some corn earlier and no? Anything? I haven't brushed in a week.
So yeah, even though it's, like I said, sick and twisted, they are rather playful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this cast, crew, and press premiere of Rick L. Winter's psycho-thriller, Blank. We held the cast and crew premiere on October 7th, 2008 at the Admiral Theater in West Seattle. We had a good turnout, a lot of family and friends, and afterwards I talked to people and asked them what they thought of the movie. The overwhelming majority of people said, "Why the dog?" Well, I told Rick about the response, and he found it rather amusing. He said it was a good social experiment. People are willing to sit through a film in which people are tortured and killed, but when a dog, already suffering and near death, is run over by a car, they lose their minds. So, after seconds of deliberation, Rick said, "The dog stays in."
Shot set up, have the car, have it set.
We shot the scene at a rest area near Seattle. It was filmed just after the scene in which Jill mends Jack's arm after having stabbed him. Our effects guy, Tom Richardson, and our AD, Justin Palm,
right up to it and you just back it up so it's right
devised this dog from a very much lifeless robotic dog, stuffing it with guts and lots of blood.
The brains, stick in the dog.
Keep everything out of this area here.
We set up the shot, and it became evident that not everyone was put off by the scene. We had a couple people in the area to stop and watch and take some pictures.
My school, look this!
We only had one shot at getting it right.
Do me a favor, man.
Get over there a little bit.
With the help of a dying bug, which was there purely by chance, we set the dog out and brought it to near life.
It looks like it's actually breathing.
You're probably going to have to take this off.
Tyler, let me turn something on.
So is the camera stable enough that it won't move?
Then came the moment of truth.
Look over here at this shot. You ready? Here we go. Here it is. Action!
Oh,
damn!
the mouth. The mouth is crazy.
Oh, it's a big old ball. Look at that. It's his heart. Oh, now the cockroach moves.
It worked wonderfully, and thus became one of the most talked about scenes in the movie.
I was very impressed at the locations that they were able to lock down for this particular project.
It was just basically scouting, trying to get the right locations for the right look.
red flower, red rose means somebody's gonna die. And that's one of those cool random things like in The Departed, where every time somebody dies, there's an X on screen. Every time somebody's about to die, you see red flowers.
That's about as tall as I'm gonna get.
Would you like to reschedule? Okay. How about 4 p.m. tomorrow?
We did a lot of guerrilla filming on this. I mean, I didn't get permits for a lot of things, you know, because it was just a hassle.
I think I've eaten.
How are the blackberries?
They're bomb. Oh, who's that?
Bear's gonna be on the other side.
It's sweet as hell.
Blueberries, but they're a little bit kind of real bitter, but you can still eat them.
Find a huckleberry.
Huckleberries right there.
Yeah. There are specific rules to filming on the street. As long as you don't use a tripod, as long as you don't block anybody's passage where they're walking.
It's not as aesthetically pleasing.
But if we're gonna have two cameras running all at once,
which I'm saying, we can do that.
There are ways around it, you know, as opposed to having to close down a street.
Shot Alpha, scene 31, take 4.
Action.
I never thought we were going to get permission to film at the Monroe prison, but luckily they met a lady that was really nice, and she helped us out in getting the Monroe prison. I thought there was no chance in hell that we would be able to get it on the budget that we had. Robert Robot Northwick. We went downstairs for that location, and he had a black light up. And I was looking at the black light, and I was like, can we move that over here a little bit? And we were trying it with the lights on to see what would show. And then I was like, what if we put more black lights? And then Tommy's like, what if we shot it with only black lights? I was like, wonder how that would look. So we went and got the black lights and just did a lot of heavy lighting with reflectors to be able to make it work. And I've never seen, not that I can recall, a scene shot in entirely black light only.
Why the fuck are you still here?
Fuck you.
That wouldn't be too wise.
The convenience store took 2 days to shoot.
So, Toby, Mike, I want you guys standing here just like you're black.
Hey Johnny, check it out. It's Toby and Mike.
Far and away, the convenience store was perhaps the most fun locale I've had the opportunity to work in.
Oh, Jesus, what the
game.
That's my rules.
Very rarely do you actually get a full location. You know, usually you're doing a lot of green screen with a couple full sets, and that was an entire convenience store that we had at our disposal for 2 days of shooting.
You need to be able to see through here.
Pretty wild instant. I mean, I have Ricardo, and he's standing outside, you know, and he kind of dresses like a Mexican thug a little bit, you know. He always has like his hats to the side, and the police officer actually pulled up to come in and get something, and yet Jack and Jill are in there. Jack's in there waving his gun around, and Jill has her knife, and there's a clerk like this standing there. Put down the gun. Got a cop. He's leaving. They're shooing him off. Ricardo told the cop, oh, they're closed, and nothing happened.
He was coming to buy something, we told him the store's closed.
He was holding the gun up when he pulled up. Alright, let's go.
It's amazing that they didn't come in. For the locations, I had been just thinking in concept of the script, what I was wanting. And so I narrowed down some motels in North Bend, sent the unit production manager to go take pictures. And the second I saw the North Bend motel and the wood paneling,
purple unit, pink unit, do you want that one?
that was it. I said, that's it, right there. That's the place I want. And, you know, the first thing, well, filming could be a little, that's the place I want. Because it was perfect.
The hotel was paramount for a lot of the ending scenes. We were very lucky to find a hotel that was so amenable to everything we needed to get done there.
Got it.
The last place that we came across was a hookup through my wife. She's a teacher. She teaches pre-K, and she knew this lesbian couple that had a kid in their school before. And we had been, I think, to their house one time, because that was the first location we needed. At the last minute, she called, and they're like, yeah, come on by, sure, yeah, you can film here, we'll leave for the weekend. That's how we got our last location, was the first location we needed. And everything else was locked down at the beginning of the shoot.
It was heavy on the special effects, which always opens the door for a lot of things to go awry.
Well, the special effects in this movie, I expected to go rather smoothly. I hired a guy to do the special effects.
You two better work.
My name is Tom Richards. I've been assigned to do the R&D on the special effects.
His energy sounded so positive when he first started out, and pretty much said, Justin, you're the art director, he's in your department, you need to make sure everything works. Our first day shooting, we had squibs that were going to go off underneath the shirt. Well, the special effects guy didn't coordinate with the costume designer, so the blood didn't soak through the shirt.
Action.
So we just had to improvise, and that's why I was, let's go back to spaghetti western. Let's get some fish line, and let's do it manually. And we just put the 2 holes in and put the 3rd one, and it looked beautiful. So at the convenience store, we had quite a few special effects. The first special effect we did was a gunshot to the head, in which a whole head was made of the actor.
It'll be over so quickly, there'll be no pain.
But when it came down to it, the special effects guy had no makeup whatsoever on the dummy head, which looked pretty good, but it couldn't be ready in time. So then we were forced again to improvise. So I told him, take the thing that you put on this, that you made for the side of the head, set it up, and we'll do fish line for the front. And then he got in there, and the makeup was just terrible. It didn't match, nothing matched whatsoever. But it looked pretty good to where it could be fixed. But when he fell back, the piece fell off of the head and was hanging in front of the head as he was falling back.
3, 4.
The second time we tried it, I had the makeup artist, Shin, come in and do a powder mix so that it was more balanced all the way across. And we shot from some different angles, and it actually looks like he really gets shot in the head.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I spent probably about $3,000 on effects, kit stuff for building the stuff, and I got pretty much that one effect out of all of that. But it's worth it because it really looks like he gets shot in the head. Then we have the convenience store where Mike gets shot in the stomach, and he's supposed to bleed profusely. They walk up, and there's this big, huge sack full of blood taped to his chest, and I'm like, if it seeps out, I guess it'll be okay. And then we're standing there, and I turn around, and he's got these big holes cut in it. I'm like, what is about to happen? So he falls forward, and it's just splash.
Jack!
Like someone had cut him from here to here. So I thought, okay, that looks terrible. But then when he pulls himself up, you see blood dripping.
Oh yeah! All that blood.
For me, it was a little much blood, little too much. But it does look really cool when they run through it and slide through it.
Oh, Pepper!
So it's usable, but in pieces.
Hey there, boy. Get up here. Come on. Oh yeah! All that blood.
So special effects were a big pain in the...
Hey, do me a favor.
Pain in the yang.
Get as many shots as you can of Rick and Tommy talking shit about me.
It was just a lack of communication.
I want to see that.
If you want to check out the best in Sasquatch rape cinema, there's this film called The Search for the Beast.
Baby. My bursitis, my tendonitis, my bursitis, it's all acting up.
What did you say?
Listen, it's I gotta do it again and again and again.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Sugar man. Sugar man, we call him. Sugar winners.
What the fuck happened to my crew? I seen him in drag last week and you all get inspired?
Ricardo, you turned us gay, you bastard!
Oh yeah, it's a camera. Let's not get in front of it.
We just had to switch roles. It's a union thing.
Okay.
You better watch it, boy.
Yeah, it's a North End regulation. You know, every actor needs to switch roles once every 60 hours of film.
See, I got one. He's got one. Boom! It's been opened. Except for the D.
Except
He
for
does
the D,
whatever he wants.
Well, it's all about the D.
Actually, this was his idea.
But sometimes, you know, like when I do things, like I make decisions, I think, what would D do? How would D feel about it?
Fuck you!
See this big bright light? That's actually D standing over there.
That's the D. D is kind of like the sun.
Brightens my day.
Just being around, you know, makes me feel good.
Now the question of our Kraken documentary, what it's all been leading up to, does the Kraken have an anus?
Well, of course it has an anus, but does it have a butt?
Very interesting point. But where on its body would it be located?
And what
It's got
happens-
tentacles at one end, you know, pointy squid head at the other, and then like a big mouthful of teeth that will devour everything. Where's the poo
On the
come
back
from?
side of its
Left
head.
eye.
Maybe it comes out its mouth. It eats.
What if it has
eats out
one
of it and it
tentacle that's
poops out
just
of
for
it.
pooping?
Oh, it's like a poop tube?
Yeah.
A child's rendition?
Yeah.
A 7-year-old just came in and drew this for us?
Mr. Giovanni has feelings too. It's not easy if you're always playing the tough guy. I have a heart of gold too. I give to charity.
Needs to be run on the other side.
What the fuck you looking at?
Your fucking hands off my man.
Please tell me you got that.
Yep. Alright.
I can't, so they don't fall off. Going like this. I can't get one.
It was a unique experience.
It's not about dollars, and it's not about, fine cuisine. It's about everybody learning and growing and working together to create this art.
Really feeling a part of a collaborative effort to get a project out there.
I was amazed at how well everybody was placed in this particular production.
Seeing how hard crew works was great.
They were all very dedicated to the project.
It seems like when people were getting stressed out and then, crews are fighting with each other, it's like he was able to break it up and get everybody back on track.
I would like to say thank you to everyone for taking the time out to help me and Justin get across our vision of the film.
It's a film that will be remembered not only for its vision, but also to show that an independent film with a small budget can be as exciting and entertaining as anything with a multi-million-dollar price tag.
The whole filmmaking process for all independent filmmakers is to know and understand that you have to make split-second decisions in that moment. And there has to be someone that's able to do that. If you really want to do it, you can make it happen. And that's the whole world of independent film. I'm always going to do this. I won't do it with $32,000 again like I did with Blank, but I will do it always. When you see it, there are a lot of very intense parts, and it's fast-paced. A lot of action going on. It's going to be everything that I wanted it to be. I just hope everybody enjoys the movie. It's a psych thriller.
All right, first, we're gonna go meet him right now. Where's my phone? I gotta talk to him. Is that you? I'm on the phone, okay? Talk to me while I'm on the phone. Okay, switch to Michael, where are you? Right now.
I'm at home.
Yeah, you're at home.
Yeah.
All right. I got a job for you right now. Where are you?
I didn't expect to care for yourself, Mr. Giovanni.
Yeah, well, you know how I am. I like to get going. I like things to start right now.
I can meet you in my house.
All right, I'm coming over right now.
Oh, no, that's not a good time.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta take my wife out to lunch.
Oh, okay, well, I got a couple of things to do also. Half hour? Sound good to you?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna sure be there.
Let's go right now.
Okay.
Get in the car.
Okay.